This is a video on time and distance. So this problem requires a little higher order thinking. So if you're not yet familiar with the concepts of time and distance, I suggest you go to my previous videos, watch them and then come to this problem. Okay, let's look at the problem. Monica left port A at 7 a.m. and drove at 80 km per hour towards port B. Raj left 2 hours later than Monica and traveling at 100 km per hour overtook Monica after some time. At what time did Raj overtake Monica? Let's look at the data which they have given in the question. So it states that Monica left port A at 7 a.m. and she drove at a speed of 80 km per hour. Raj left the port 2 hours later, so it's 9 a.m. and he drove at a speed of 100 km per hour. Now this is all the data which the question has given, and using this data they want us to find out at what time Raj overtook Monica. So how do we solve the problem? Okay, let's draw a diagram. I'll be having this as port A, the starting point. I'll represent that as A, and this point is B. Now Monica leaves port A at 7 a.m. and she drives at a speed of 80 km per hour. Raj leaves 2 hours later and he drives at a different speed, 100 km per hour. But the thing is, both of them will meet at a certain point. I'm saying that they meet because Raj will overtake Monica. For Raj to overtake Monica, he has to meet her. So at some point, Raj and Monica will be here. They want us to find this time. So we can ignore the point B because that's not something which is relevant to this problem. We have to look at the point of overtaking. So this is the point at which Raj overtakes Monica, and they want us to find how much time it takes for this to happen. Okay, so for that we have to first find this distance. So this is the distance which has to be covered for both of them to meet, or in other words, the distance that has to be covered for Raj to meet Monica. So x is the distance for overtaking. We will be having it as x. Now let's look at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, Raj has to travel this whole distance of x, because he starts at this point at 9 o'clock. But at 9 o'clock, how much distance has Monica traveled? Because Monica does not have to start from here. She has started 2 hours earlier. She didn't start at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock was Raj. 7 o'clock is Monica. So during these 2 hours, she will be some point over here. Or we don't know exactly where, but she won't be here. She'll be somewhere in between this point and this point. So we have to find out how much distance she has covered at 9 o'clock. So she started at 7 to 9. So 2 hours, 2 into her speed. So this is the distance covered. That's what we're finding. Distance covered at 9 o'clock by Monica. 2 into her speed, which is 80 km per hour. And this will give 160 kilometers. So Monica would have already traveled 160 kilometers. So how much distance does she have to travel for them to meet? She only has x minus 160. So the distance needed to be traveled for Raj, I'll just make a tabular column, because if you represent it in a tabular column, it will be less confusing and easier for you to understand and follow through. So this is Raj, this is Monica. The distance that Raj has to travel before overtaking is x, because we don't know the distance. That's what we have to find out, and then after finding that out, we have to find the time out. Distance that Monica would have to travel in terms of x will be x minus 160. because she has already traveled 160 kilometers, and this is all at 9 o'clock. The speed at which Raj will travel this distance x is 100 kilometers per hour. The speed at which Monica will travel at is 80 kilometers per hour. What will the time be? We have to find that out, but time for both of them will be constant. Now this is the key point. Time for both of them will be constant. Why? Because they both meet at the point. From 9 o'clock to this point, the time that they both take to travel will be the same. That's the only way they can both meet. So she will travel, they will both travel different distances. She travels only this much distance, he travels x distance, speed is greater for him, speed is different for her, but the time will be constant. So after you find this out, the problem becomes easy. So what's the formula for time over here? It will be distance by speed, which is x by 100. The equation for time over here will be distance by speed, which is x minus 160 by 80. So let's equate both of this because they are both equal. Okay, so we get we get 80x 100x minus 16000. We bring this over here, this to this side, 20x. So x will be equal to 800. So now we have found out this distance. This is 800 kilometers. Now let's look at the question again. We are almost there. We have almost arrived at an answer, but we have to find time instead. We have found the distance. Okay, so they want us to find the time at which Raj overtook Monica. So how do we find the time? Now we know that the distance is 800 kilometers. At what speed does he travel? We'll be taking Raj for an example. What speed does we'll be taking Monica for an example. At what speed does Monica travel? Monica travels at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. So traveling at 80 kilometers per hour, the time will be 800 by 80, which will be 10 hours. So she'll take 10 hours for her to come to this point, which is the point of overtaking. So 10 hours. She starts at 7. So if she starts at 7 o'clock, the time which she will take is 5 hours to 12, another 5 hours to 5 o'clock. So they will meet at 5. We can do the same with Raj also. Here we have done it with Monica. With Raj, let's see. The distance which she has to travel is the same, 800 kilometers. The speed at which he travels is 100 kilometers per hour. So he will take 800 by 100, which is 8 hours. So it will come to the same timing, which is 5, because he starts at 9. He starts at 9 a.m. So 9 to 12, 3 hours. Another 5 hours. That will give 5 p.m. So they both reach this point, or in other words, Raj overtakes Monica at 5 p.m. So this is a sort of complicated problem, and the best way to do these type of problems is to draw a diagram and to systematically approach it that way. They usually ask these problems in product companies.